back today live at CES in Las Vegas with a very special interview. We're joined by Allison Stransky, the CMO and VP of Samsung Electronics America. From driving groundbreaking AI innovations to creating impactful sustainability campaigns, Allison is certainly at the forefront of redefining how brands connect with consumers in a rapidly evolving world. Allison, so great to see you today.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for having me.
So Samsung is such a powerful brand and has really kind of expanded its remit within the entire ecosystem. We were speaking with one of your colleagues from Smart Things yesterday, and obviously the work that Samsung is doing in the smart home realm is one of so many different areas it touches on behalf of the consumer. When you look at the Samsung brand, what are some of the areas that you're particularly leaning into in 2025 in this world that's moving so fast right now?
So the big innovation that we want to talk about in 25 is AI and home AI in particular, because what's amazing about Samsung is we have products in so many different categories.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to build solutions for your whole home and your whole life. And that isn't just really exciting as a consumer, but a real point of difference. So now when you think about the long history of Samsung and the innovation over the years, this is the tipping point where AI is now really going to start delivering benefits and experiences on a level that I don't think consumers have seen yet.
No.
So thrilled. I'm so excited for it.
And so what are some of the ways that manifest within your products to impact the end consumer and make their lives better?
Yes. So one of the areas that we focus on is health, for example. Health is important literally to all of us.
Yep.
And health has very many different facets. So one of the areas that we're focusing on is sleep, because you feel like you get enough sleep. Who gets enough sleep?
Right.
So everyone could do better in that
And that's been
space.
of such increased importance over
Yes.
the last several years.
I think we've gotten a better understanding of like how sleep sets you up for everything, not just how you feel, but literally how your body works.
Yeah.
And now we have the ability to bring a really holistic offering that helps you understand your sleep better, but actually sleep better too. So as an example, your wearables, your ring, your watch, something can track your sleep patterns and start to understand insights from what you do in the middle of the night. So you're not aware, you're hopefully sleeping, but maybe you're a little bit restless in the middle of the night. And maybe we're starting to observe that your temperature is increasing. AI and the Smart Things connected ecosystem are going to get to a point where the learning says maybe because you're too hot, you're not sleeping well, and automatically adjust your thermostat, for example, bring the temperature down and see if that works. So it's going to test and learn with you as well, because that is the power of AI. If it's not that, maybe it's something else. But the thing that's a real game changer is this is completely automated. And we're going to get to a point where you reap the end benefit, but you don't have to do the troubleshooting and the trial
Or change
and error
your consumer
yourself.
habit.
Yes.
So I think that, so you look at some of the new technologies that haven't taken off, it's because it relies on the consumer to do things that they haven't done before.
Absolutely.
The reason that ChatGPT took off so well is you're just texting. It's the same form factor as texting a friend, except you're texting, a large language model. We were just talking to the people from Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses, and that's been a successful device for them because you're just wearing sunglasses, and people already do that. So I think the more you can blend into existing consumer behavior, but then get them added benefit, I think then you're getting a lot of tailwinds behind whatever you're bringing to the market.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and the point you're bringing on with health is an interesting thing because it brings up a broader trend, the quantified self, where, we have the Whoop band, we have the Aura Ring, we have like a bevy of new devices that consumers are getting more and more comfortable with that are tracking their bodies. And I think in the past, it was almost like a gimmick, but now in the age of AI, it can synthesize all the data and very quickly tell you what it means. And it almost gives consumers much more conviction in controlling their health and the outcome of their health.
Yeah, it is amazing that I think we could be at a pivotal point for the quantified self as well. And within the Samsung ecosystem, it's not just your wearables and your mobile and all the things. Health is also in the kitchen. We have appliances in your kitchen space where through our health app in your refrigerator, you can start, and Smart Things, you get meal recommendations. So if you have, whether you have concerns like diabetes that you have to be very conscious of, or I'm just interested in living this type of food lifestyle, it all comes together. So there's what you put in, what you sleep on, like how you sleep, it all kind of becomes this ecosystem that we can help you track and quantify all in one place, bring you insights. It's getting exciting.
So the refrigerator will know what's actually in the refrigerator?
Yes. So the bespoke vision, AI vision inside the refrigerator.
I've never heard of this before.
This was actually one of our big announcements in 24 at CES, and the technology just keeps getting better in terms of what it is capable of doing. So the cameras inside your refrigerator recognize ingredients and then can make you meal recommendations based off of what you have, or help you create shopping lists based off of what you need. So you look at what's in your fridge right now and it can tell you you can do this, or something, maybe you need to go to the grocery store because you're out of all of your essentials.
Or maybe with an AI agent, will just order that stuff for you.
We are partnering with Instacart. So like there's the roadmap of being able to make life more seamless and more integrated. Don't even know where it's going to go, I think, but there's so much more potential. It's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, Samsung's business model has really evolved because, we're talking to a lot of people here at CES that aren't in the consumer electronics industry, from CPG or, auto, all different places. But Samsung has always been a staple here at CES. And it used to be primarily a components company, right? And now you're becoming more of an ecosystem and a platform, which really involves flexing different muscles when it comes to the product development, because you're thinking more about user experience and data and lifecycle marketing, as well as just overall how you tell the story around the brand, because you're no longer saying we have the sharpest screen. Like you're not necessarily pushing into the unique selling proposition anymore, maybe the same way you have in the past. So how's that transformation work at scale at a big, huge company like Samsung?
The technology itself has gotten so incredibly good. We are so far from the S1 model in a smartphone that we're calling them AI phones now. So it's moved so far down in innovation. So now it's about the marketing of the experiences and the higher order benefits. And so for us and my team, a lot of what we focus on is what are beyond tech specs, all those things. What are the unique benefits, unique experiences? And then we bring them to life through our pillars, as we call them. So connectivity is one of them. How is the connected home going to enhance your life by driving more productivity, better care, better wellness, all of those things? Sustainability. People really care about not just the products and how it was made, but more importantly, how we're helping you live more sustainably. And this is all kind of coming together, especially backed by AI, where AI is enabling things like AI energy mode, where you can actually choose to run your appliances when the grid demand is at its lowest.
Very cool.
And those real tangible consumer benefits in a relevant space like sustainability are what we're focusing on messaging, because now you're like, your camera better be amazing on your phone. What else can this do?
Table stakes.
Because I'm taking all of that as, it's like the floor for these devices.
And I think another part I would imagine kind of evolves or changes the game for Samsung is you used to sell through Best Buy or third-party retailers, and because of that, and you still do, but you didn't really have a great path to capture first-party data, right? Sure, you had warranties and stuff, but now consumers are purchasing your product, they're signing up for your software. So it's a completely different game when you can now have these one-on-one direct relationships with consumers. How are you looking at the importance of first-party data and evolving your overall marketing strategy?
It's so critical in so many ways. So a couple of pieces of that are, one, the big data team sits within my corporate marketing org, because it is not just about protecting your data so you as a consumer are secured and confident, but it's about using it really responsibly. And what we mean by that is delivering you relevant messaging. If you're going shopping for back to school, you don't want to hear about a refrigerator. You're doing a full home remodel. This might not be the time to tell you about
personalization.
Buds. Yes, exactly. So it is so critical for us to get that personalization right, because we do want to connect with you relevantly. So that's a big part of our strategy. And we know that the more we understand you and all of your points in this journey, we're just going to keep delivering better experiences, which is not just in relation to commerce, but like how you use our products as well. So when you're signed in on more devices, this is where we're going to collect the learning, so that we will deliver something that's more engaging, more fun, live better mentality.
Yeah. And how about user experience and where that fits in? Because traditionally, companies that have focused on components or have had a hard time building software that is intuitive for the end user. relative to companies that are software companies at their core. How much time are you spending thinking about what is a good user experience for what is sort of a simple output, but still can be a kind of a complex offering when it comes to consumers figuring out how to connect everything? And so how important is that as part of your overall strategy?
It's so important. It is critical. And when there's so many pieces of it and also so many different users wanting to get to a different end goal, I think that's complicates things even more in tech, which brings us back to the opportunity of, it comes back to personalization again. Like, we need to create different journeys for the person who literally needs like one-on-one, help me set it up. I want to connect for the first time, all the way down to, I know it all. I'm trying to maximize the higher end benefits. So one of our philosophies is that our relationship really starts with purchase. When you bring the product home, that's the beginning. And so once you purchase a device, we bring you on this journey of, now let's start with onboarding. What do you need to know about setting up, and at a very basic level? Now we know you're a few months in. Now we're going to take you to the next level of, we think that you can benefit from building now a sound system around your TV because you've onboarded, you're using the TV benefits. Now let me tell you what a TV and audio system do together, and how that's going to turn you into the best entertaining household. So building on those, higher order benefits and through the journey is how we look at our relationship, starting with like product coming into your house and into your life.
And I would imagine interoperability is important as well, because sure, they may buy your home theater system, or they might buy from Sonos or another player. And, that's been one of the challenges of the connected smart home, is that there are so many different protocols and companies. And unless you buy the same brand of everything and different company, not everyone, Apple doesn't make TVs, right? So I think that is going to be a challenge until there has to be some standards that are implemented just to make it easier for the consumer.
So one of the things that we're proud of having brought into the Samsung group is SmartThings, for exactly that reason. The insight that SmartThings is platform, I can't say it's completely platform agnostic,
of course,
but the ability to work with hundreds of partners in ecosystems that we don't play in. We're not going to make shades that open and close, but that's part of the health and the sleep journey to get the best bedroom conditions.
Exactly.
So it's amazing that those partners can be on SmartThings and you bring it all together. And yes, to your point too, like, as much as we wish every home today had only Samsung appliances
That's your job.
and and TVs and things, while we're still on that journey to get there, we want you to have a good connectivity experience with what you have right now.
Yeah, I wonder how long manuals are going to exist, because if you think about it, I'm sure there'll be a platform soon where like you buy something and you just tell your family chatbot, I own this model, and then you just talk to the chatbot and it'll tell you how to fix things. Like, who needs manuals anymore?
I love that idea, because I'm someone who throws it out as soon as I buy the product anyway. So like, it's on the internet, right? I will find this. And actually, I don't even want the manual. I want the YouTube video or the creator video or something to tell me in my language anyway. So I do think your chatbot or your tech or your getting it in your language is going to be just going to make the journey even better.
Yeah. And speaking about your language, I think voice obviously is going to, I think, have a little bit of a renaissance. I mean, if you think of the earliest iterations of Siri and Alexa, and you have Bixby, right? Yeah. Like, a lot of the voice technologies kind of under-delivered on consumer expectations out of the gate. And now they are just getting so good because they're infused with AI. And it is so convenient, especially for consumers that aren't tech savvy, to be able to talk to their devices, get things fixed, understand, what this button does. Do you guys think a lot about voice in terms of a central modality to interact with your technology in the home?
We do. We definitely want Bixby to bring all of those benefits that you look for through a voice assistant, but we're bringing innovation from using Bixby in different areas as well. One of the things that we announced this week at CES was it's technically an accessibility benefit, but it's going to be so relevant to so many audiences. Using Bixby, it will recognize device settings that you set up on your mobile phone and carry that over to other screens on your TV and appliances. So if you have low vision and keep your phone in high contrast mode, when you come over to the refrigerator, Bixby will recognize your voice and change the screen on your refrigerator into high contrast mode. And then when the next person in the household comes over who doesn't have that setting, it'll go back. So this is really relevant to not just people living with disabilities, but multi-generational households. Your eyes start to go because grandma's older. grandma's going to read the high-tech new fridge a lot better than she would have otherwise. So this is like, it's voice at the root of this. So to your point about the next generation of voice benefits, it's not just about talking to your device, but voice recognition to deliver other benefits as well.
Yeah. So obviously, lots of great functionality, lots of great opportunities and possibilities for the consumer. Now the job is, okay, how do we communicate that to the consumer? And of course, all consumers aren't created equal. And Gen Z, the first generation to grow up with the iPhone in the household, is, increasingly becoming the CFO and decision maker in the household. And it's not the same as a Gen Xer who did not grow up with even the internet, right? So when you think of effective communication strategies to communicate and also, it sounds like, redefine the brand, what are some of the areas that you're leaning into in 2025?
We do think Gen Z is so important. And we're also looking to Alpha behind them because everybody is becoming so digitally native in ways that it's unreal. It's amazing. It's and exciting, like all the good things. So we need to reach them more relevantly, which of course means a little bit differently. But one of the things that we recognize is authenticity is more important than any of the generations that have come before. They can see through jargon. They can smell brands a mile away when they're being a little bit funny with things. And so our philosophy is like, you have to be completely authentic, speak in the same Samsung voice that they can relate to, and show up in places where they want to be with stories that they connect to as well. So some of the, all of this work has culminated in, like, this is the strategy behind how we go to market with our social campaigns and things like that. It starts with, like, how do you reach them relevantly? And we were seeing it pay off too. So our sustainability campaign, Real Talk, was all about cutting through what is greenwashing, recognize it, we're not doing it, and we're just going to tell it to you like it is. Like this is, and we've seen really good response from Gen Z in particular.
That's all they want,
and
right?
like, yes, be like, just talk to me like a person,
Right?
Because I'm a person, and we should do this.
Right. They're also, Gen Z, getting more and more of their information, obviously not through traditional media platforms, but from other people, right? They're in the news feed, they're on their phone, and they're enter the creator economy and influencers and individuals. How is Samsung leveraging that as a channel? Because that's the ultimate form of authenticity, because you're speaking to them through them.
Yeah, creators are so important to our marketing mix, and we work with them in a couple of different ways. So of course we have our partnerships where they're talking about either our products or our connected solutions and things like that. But we also have a great affiliate network, because there are so many creators out there that can represent they can be like your on the floor sales guy and break down the tech in really relatable, authentic voices, with the integration on their YouTube channel or other platforms, and you click to buy right there. We love that they get credit as an affiliate. And I think that we're just at the tip of the iceberg in terms of how we can do that.
I mean, TikTok Shop had an amazing holiday season. It's just getting started.
And I think there's a lot of opportunity in our category too, because I think there are some other categories that have pioneered a lot faster. So if we figure this out, we know our consumers there, we know they're ready for it. So we're excited to try a lot, learn a lot of new things.
What are some of the passion point areas in the realm of sports and entertainment, music, that Samsung is looking to lean into in the year ahead?
Right now we're very big in gaming, because that is a passionate audience that ranges from very engaged. I can't even rationalize, because I'm so far personally from where they are as gamers, but like, fascinating. These are the gamers who recognize that the best screen gives you that little tiny edge, and they're going to go for it because this is so important to them. So we are number one in gaming monitors, and we've been the brand that's been able to deliver improved gaming experience, all the way down to, we know there are a ton of casual gamers out there too who enjoy filling those gaps of time on their phone. So we do have a lot of gaming communication and events where we show up at TwitchCon and a lot of work on Twitch in general, because we know that's the place to have the conversation. So gaming is a big area, but so are sports.
I'm sure.
We kind of joke, doesn't everybody watch in some capacity? Maybe not literally. I don't have a stat that says, but I think there's still more interest leaning in. It was a great year in 24. We're sponsors of the Olympics.
How was
So
that experience overall for the brand?
it was great. So our Olympic platform was Open Always Wins, which is this is a moment in time where the world comes together to celebrate athletes and be proud of your nation and people who you hear all of these stories about the athletes who this is their job. They're
Yeah, of
not all the professional NFL, NBA
course.
players. And now these players, these athletes get their chance for their story to shine. So we wanted to celebrate everybody because, it's also a little double entendre. We're an open, we're Android. We're very open with our ecosystems and everything else. It's our smart things philosophy as well. So that's the spirit of the Olympics. We wanted to bring all of that together. And our big moment at the Olympics was the podium selfie, whereby when you make it to the podium, we brought out a phone, the Flip, it was a special Olympic flip, and gave it to the athletes to take a selfie on the podium. And gold, silver, bronze winners all got together from many cases, 3 different countries and took this amazing moment. And so we were really proud because it was a natural product integration, but it had meaning because it
Yeah.
was that togetherness and a celebration of not just sport, but these amazing people who were crossing boundaries and nations. So that was a big year. But the Olympics are not every year, so there's a lot of sports activity that happens in between. And what's great for Samsung is we make the best viewing experience on your TV.
Right. It
We
fits well with the
make
brand.
great tracking on your phone. You want to, bring the kitchen into it too, because you can have a party.
Yep.
So it is a very natural fit for a lot of
If you want to be
our
an
business.
athlete, it'll track, you have all the health tracking stuff.
Exactly. So it's another area that I think sports marketing opportunities are boundless. So
Yeah.
we continue to experiment and explore in that place too.
Yeah. So given your role, I'm sure that you work with no shortage of outside agency and other partners. If you are a company, a third party company that wants to work with Samsung and get your attention as the CMO, what do they need to do to basically break out of the pack?
Show us a solution that's a new way to address a problem. And I know that is very vague,
Right.
but there are problems that I'm not sure that I'm even aware that I have, because you know what, as a marketer, the old world of the foundational principles, they're still there. I still need to reach you relevantly.
Yeah.
I still need to optimize my marketing mix. I still need to do all of those things.
Differentiate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I need to understand how to use all the new suites of tools that are coming out there so that I can be a more effective and more efficient at the same time. I need to build a relationship with Gen Z while I'm also fostering Alpha. And you know what? I still want the Millennials and X. I want all of them. So, but we're reaching all of them in different ways. So I have no shortage of challenges. I think there are really interesting emerging partners out there who are bringing solutions to things that when you're thinking differently, talk to agencies about new targeting techniques that you layer on top of the big guys like the media partners. And so there's so much. I just want to hear how you're going to solve a problem that I have a slew of them. So especially if it's a bigger problem, because that's where we're going to start in our focus.
Yeah. And we've talked a lot about AI for the consumer and how it's going to change their lives through your products. How do you look at AI in terms of its role in the marketing process and the crafting of messages, the targeting, et cetera? And how much time are you spending thinking about deploying some of those approaches in 2025?
Spending a lot of time thinking about it. And I want this to be the year that we really implement it a lot more too, because we've talked about the concept of personalization at scale for a while.
Yeah.
I think AI is the enabler that's actually going to
100%.
make it happen.
Yep.
So it's here. We can do it. I know that you have lots of different interests and needs as a consumer. So every single one of us has a different entryway into Samsung. What we started doing last year, in order to recognize that, we created 6 different personas and journeys down those personas. But 6 is are there 6 different people out there? No. There are literally billions of different people.
Yeah, that type
and
of segmentation
personalities.
will be looked at as archaic.
It's
one day.
And even last year, it was a big step in terms of how we created different personas to see what you were interested in, to get that data point, to bring you on a more personal journey. But this year, I want to have thousands.
Right.
And this is where AI is going to help me as a marketer create 1,000 different insights with 1,000 different messages with 1,000 different pieces of creative that I can now go serve to millions of people. Now I'm going to see the benefits of personalization at scale, but I cannot, as a marketer, do the math and the matching. And so you have to get AI to help you with each of those steps in the process, and then put it into the media tools where AI is going to get it to the right consumer. And that's the vision that we'd like to realize this year.
Yeah.
And I hope
I
it's
think we're
only
pretty close to it in that you might not even need segments, because if you have first party data,
Mhm.
basically you can have a large language model crawl every record of first party data for each consumer in your database and go across everything you know about that person,
Mhm.
and then come up with a cadence
Mhm.
based upon what you know, and that person will get a unique outreach
Mhm.
from Samsung
Mhm.
than the next person.
Mhm.
They don't even fit into any segment. You have the ability to talk to them like they're a person based upon the more information that you're able to garner.
Exactly. That's what we want to see. And we want it to be about how you continue to have better experiences with your products
Right.
too, which
Right.
is thank you for bringing our mobile device into your life. Let's just keep showing you how to use it better
Yeah.
and better and better.
Then it becomes like a positive reinforcement
Mhm.
loop. If you're showing that you can add value based on the information that you've captured from them, then they're going to want you to capture more information.
And it can also turn into, at the end of the game, a great loyalty play. Like if I
100%.
understand you the
Those lock-in
best,
effect, high switching costs. Why would
yeah.
you go anywhere
Mhm.
else?
Mhm.
So it's been a great conversation. I can't wait for our audience to hear it. To wrap up here, I was looking and doing some research for this interview, and you spent 10 years at L'Oreal,
Mhm.
who we do a lot of business with, and obviously great marketers there that really understand the consumer in a different space. And then 6 years at Google.
Mhm.
What are some of your core takeaways from both those companies? And in each instant, what gave you the conviction to leave those great companies and move on,
That's
ending
a
up to
great
where you are
question.
today?
So one of the things that I valued the most about my time at L'Oreal is that they are incredible storytellers.
Yes.
And beauty is a really fun category to create stories in. There's so many different products and categories. So I loved learning and honing skills as a storyteller from L'Oreal, but one of their other strengths is that they've always been very leaned into digital. And it was digital first, I think, before it was really data, because first we started by trying all the platforms, and L'Oreal was working with creators before we were
Before they were
sure
even
what was,
called
I
creators,
know, and
right?
also before we knew
Bloggers,
what they were
influencers, yeah.
going to deliver. And so we started learning that. We were among the first to be testing all the things with, before it was called Meta, with Facebook and Instagram. And so really appreciated being an early adopter and strength in storytelling. But I got bitten by the digital bug at the end of my tenure at L'Oreal, because it was all we were talking about. And I wanted to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And from my perspective, where better to go than Google? I had the opportunity to go to Google and work on teams that were doing analysis on YouTube ads to help brands make more effective ads to get the most out of YouTube. And that was an interesting journey, because the understanding of YouTube emerged a lot in my time there. And personally, I picked up a lot of appreciation for data, because how you use it, what you can do with it, wouldn't have known what an LLM was at one
Right.
point in time, but now the meta analysis that we were doing taught me an understanding of data and appreciation for analysis in a different way.
How would you describe the culture at Google, by the way?
Google is a lot of different cultures, I would say, because
Okay.
there are so many teams and different. I worked on a global team at Google, which was a really interesting experience, because I was also learning to appreciate the needs of all the different markets. And in this space, during COVID, the US leaned into connected TV. We all started watching on big screens again and
Yep.
had a leaned back experience. And in APAC, the mobile growth is still on fire. There are still 1 billion people coming online with a mobile device who don't have TVs.
Right.
So it was a fascinating journey. And even in the world of YouTube, we were YouTube at the moment. So
Uh-huh.
completely different experiences in different places. And that's why it was also kind of a tale of very many different cultures and environments in work. So learned so
I'm
much
sure.
in my time. I think I'm still realizing some of what I learned at Google. It comes up in dribs and drabs, but in my core, I am a brand marketer, and I love being on a brand team. So when had the opportunity to come to Samsung, it was something that I was very grateful for. And I'll say I'm almost 2 years in. Love it every day
You can tell.
it's a brand that I've actually loved and used. Back to my S3.
Yeah. So, and of course, your role at Samsung is of a CMO. In order to continue to thrive and be a leader and drive the business forward as a CMO, what are some of the areas that you're looking to hone your skill set on and improve in the year ahead?
I think I still have a lot to learn about AI marketing tools because there's so much more.
Right?
I know, right? What is the tool or what is the process? Because I think it's not just about learning the new tools, but I think we need to design new operating processes internally to get work done faster and better. And I'm not creating 1,000 insights for 1,000 different consumers right now. What do I need to change?
Or what are the steps from here to there?
In order to be able to do that. Right. So that's what I want to continue to learn as well.
Because it's a lot of change management too, right? Because you have to think about your team and how the organizational design and the skill sets they have, and do you have the right people that can actually get you there?
Yes. And how do we keep everyone excited to be on this journey, because it's exciting. So we should, I hope we all want to do it.
As well as keep people from not being fearful, because there is a fear factor with AI, especially people, the closer you get to the creative areas, it's like, well, is this going to replace me? And that's just an ongoing thing that the industry of marketing has to grapple with, because we're not going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes it gets confused that people espousing the powers of AI with thinking it's good that it can replace certain. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. It's here, and everyone's going to embrace it. And it's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yes, exactly.
So we ask all of our guests when we wrap up the podcast if there is a mantra or saying that guides your professional journey. I just wonder what comes to mind for you.
I love that. So I love the movie A League of Their Own.
Yeah,
and Tom Hanks. Yes, it's so good. Timeless. Tom Hanks has a line in that movie that says, if it was easy, anyone would do it.
Yep.
It's the hard that makes it great. And that was actually my high school quote. It's been my mantra.
Like in your yearbook?
Yeah, in my yearbook, if I had it, but I don't.
Right.
I could show you that this has been something that I've really embodied my whole life. It's just taken on different meanings. So now it's in the spirit of like, let's learn all of this that's new. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out how to push to the boundaries and take risks. And I don't want it to be easy, because I think easy is boring.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thank you so much for joining amidst your busy schedule there at CES. It's been an amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Again, can't wait for our audience to hear it. On behalf of Suzy and Adewi Keen, thanks again to the great Allison Stransky, the CMO and VP of Samsung Electronics America, for joining us today. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review Speed of Culture on your favorite podcast platform. Till next time, we're live here at CES in Las Vegas. See you soon. Bye-bye. The Speed of Culture is brought to you by Suzy as part of the Adweek Podcast Network and Aguest Creator Network. You can listen and subscribe to all Adweek's podcasts by visiting adweek.com/podcasts. To find out more about Suzy, head to Suzy.com. And make sure to search for The Speed of Culture in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Click follow so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Suzy, thanks for listening.